Hi, I'm Eric Siegel with ericstrains.com, and welcome to episode 10 of my video train blog series. So in something of a departure from the norm, as you can see, I am not at my layout for this episode. I'm actually on the road right now. I'm up in Bellevue, Washington, which is a city that's across the lake from Seattle, and I'm up here for the week on a business trip. Now, a lot of times when I'm on vacation or on a business trip like I am now, I'll try to visit other train stores around the country because it's just a lot of fun. You get to see new stores, meet new people, and talk trains and just have a good time. And it's even more fun when I'm on a business trip by myself, because once I'm done with my work for the day, I really don't have anything else to do, so why not go hang out in a train store? So that's what I did this week. I went to a new train store that I've never been to before called East Side Trains that's up in Kirkland, Washington, which is just north of Bellevue. This is their business card, and it was a really nice store, really big. They have a huge selection of trains. The guy I talked to there is named Dustin Ainsley. He doesn't own it, but he is one of the repairmen that works on the trains, and he was a real joy to talk to. And it was actually pretty funny because when I walked in the store, he looked over at me and said, "Hey, aren't you that Eric's Trains guy from YouTube?" And so that was really flattering to be able to walk into some random train store and have someone recognize me from my YouTube videos. So it was a lot of fun. We talked trains for actually 2 days because I went there after work 2 days in a row, and I picked up a few new things that I wanted to show you. So on the first day that I went into East Side Trains, I figured I would get something O-scale for my layout, but I ended up going in a completely different direction, and I got two nice pieces of G-gauge rolling stock. Now, I don't know much about G-gauge. I'm sort of a moron when it comes to G-gauge. I've got two G-gauge starter sets in my collection. I've got an LGB Christmas set and a Lionel Christmas set, but other than that, I don't know much about G-gauge. I don't know what's good and what's bad, so forgive me if I don't use the right terms when I'm showing you this stuff, but I sort of liked it, and I figured I would just get something completely different, and so I got these two pieces of rolling stock. The first one is this one right here. This is an Alaskan Amber Beer Billboard Reefer, and this is made by USA Trains, which is the manufacturing company of Charles Rowe Manufacturing. Charles Rowe is one of the biggest train stores in the country, and this is their brand of G-gauge trains. And as you can see, it's really nice. This one was actually made in the USA. I don't know if their newer stuff is still made in the USA, but this one is. And as you can see, it's really nice. Now, it didn't come with the grab irons or the brake wheel attached. Those were all separately packaged. And I had to put them on myself, but it's very beautiful. It's got plastic wheels and the hook and loop couplers. It's got little metal piping down here, and the doors open on both sides, and the hatches all open on top. So it's a really nice car and very beautiful. The other car that I got is something that any Lionel fan is going to like, and that is this G-gauge Lionel Corporate tin plate car. Now, Lionel Corporate tin plate, just to refresh your memory, is the MTH Lionel venture that allows MTH to make trains with the Lionel name on them. Mostly tin plate, but since MTH also makes G-gauge trains, they call them 1-gauge. They also made a G-gauge train with the Lionel Corporate tin plate logo on it. They made these types of cars for all their gauges. They made them for HO, O-scale, O27, and G-gauge, and standard gauge and tin plate too. And as you can see, it's really beautiful. Very heavy car. It's very big. Metal wheels. It came with the knuckle couplers that you see here, but they also had the hook and loop couplers packaged separately. I put one on this end, kept the knuckle coupler on this end just to show you the difference. But it's a very nice car, extremely heavy. The cold load comes out like that. There's the inside, and just beautiful car all around. And these hatches down here open up like that. So just a very high quality car. And I saw this and I couldn't resist it because I'm a, O-scale, Lionel. You can't resist anything with Lionel, and this was just too beautiful to resist, and so I picked it up. Now, price-wise, in case you're wondering how much these G-gauge cars cost, this one cost about $80, I believe. The other one cost about $70 or $80. Most G-gauge cars usually, from what I've seen, range between $80 and maybe $130. Obviously, engines and more fancy cars are going to be more expensive than that. The other item that I picked up on the second day I was there was an O-scale item. The O-scale car that I picked up is this MTH freight car. This is a Rainier Canada all-door box car, and these types of cars are usually used to ship lumber products, and they're called all-door boxcars because on both sides of the car, it's composed of nothing but doors, and so that makes them very versatile. So I don't know how well you can see this, but you can push that door open, you can pull that door open, you can move these around. You can do the same thing over here and on the other side. So very versatile cars. I don't have an all-door box car in my fleet yet, and so that's why I picked this up. Really nice car. Of course, MTH quality, die-cast trucks, and the whole works. So really nice, and I'm glad I picked it up. I also got a book while I was there to read on the plane ride back tomorrow. It's called Lionel, America's Favorite Toy Trains, and it's by Jerry and Janet Suter. And as you can see, it's a real nice book, about 150 pages of Lionel history and pictures, so that'll make for some fun reading on the way back to Georgia tomorrow. So that about wraps it up for this episode. The last thing I want to do is give a shout out to one of my young fans, 14-year-old Hunter Chapman. He has apparently watched every single one of my train videos, all 140 or so of them. So thank you, Hunter, for watching those videos. I hope I continue to entertain you in the future. And of course, stay with the hobby. It's always so important to have young people in this hobby because it keeps young people out of trouble, keeps their brains active, and of course, it keeps the hobby going. So thank you. Keep on playing with trains. Keep on having fun. I'm Eric Siegel coming to you from Bellevue, Washington, and I will see you next time.